Especially in the social media day and age, there's so much more opportunity to sort of like express yourself and things you're passionate about.
Social media is everywhere. People are constantly using social media to network and stay in contact with people.
The best thing we can do for conservation efforts is to like increase awareness. All right. So Caleb, what do you feel like your social media looks like currently as far as what you're presenting online?
I think that's a really good question. So my social media right now, I have a little duality, I'll say, to my social media. My main page, as I like to say, shows just a little bit about me and my friends and what I like to wear and things of that nature. And it shows some music that, I listen to.
Sure.
Because, Instagram has a feature where you can post your
Right.
music to your post.
And then everyone's running to download that song,
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly. And then I would say, like, how I kind of work around the close friends versus LinkedIn. I know I have a network of friends at my school in the AUC, and a lot of us have like spam accounts. So our spam accounts is where we show a little more personality.
Right.
We can, talk offline and
Your Finstas.
exactly, our
Yeah.
fences and things like that. So that's kind of how I deviate from my main page and my Finsta or my spam. And then it's locked, it's private. And
Sure.
you wouldn't know who it is unless I gave it to you.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I find a balance in between the two. And then, like, as far as LinkedIn, because we're talking about LinkedIn as well.
Mhm.
LinkedIn, very professional, shows what I'm doing, what's going on professionally with me, and things of that nature. But that's kind of how I, like, balance between the two. What about you?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, great question. I think it varies for each person, right? You want to make sure you're still coming across authentic. I believe like second year of my undergrad studies over at Florida State, I went through that classic, purge where you started, deleting a bunch of, just Instagram had way too many posts, a bunch of stuff from high school. So just making it a little more like catered, a little more professional to it. I need and what I'm looking for. A lot of my classmates did something similar to what you were talking about, made that, business account like Dr. to be so-and-so. And those are the pages where they'll post only things relevant to their vet school journey. For me, I feel like that's almost putting on like a false persona. I like to keep my main page, and then I have close friends with my friends from back home where I'll post, a lot of the stuff about music like you're talking about. I'm a huge Eagles fan, so a lot of trash talking, go Birds, yes sir, on those pages as well. Then I have a close friends from my vet student community as well, because we're doing a lot of like small events in the school, advertising things for that. That doesn't need to go out to everybody, so that's typically just advertised to that group. And then my page as a whole, I've taken it off private because I want employers to be able to locate me if they are trying to find my pages, and I want to ensure that I'm comfortable with what I'm presenting on there, as far as professionalism as well as being my authentic self. So yeah.
And I might steal that idea of creating a close friend
Absolutely.
specifically for all
Different
my law
groups
students.
for different, knowing your audience.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, exactly. So I have a question for you. How can someone be themselves and still present a professional side of them on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially in the social media day and age, there's so much more opportunity to sort of like express yourself and things you're passionate about, and there's so many ways you can go about it. So you can certainly still post professionally about the things you're passionate about. I can go on LinkedIn and celebrate the Eagles winning the Super Bowl this past year. Is that going to necessarily provide any benefits to me and my career goals? I don't think so, right? So it's one of those things where you have certain things you want to post, but I'm super passionate about wildlife as well, and now through Disney and UNCF, I get to live the opportunity of my dreams and work with wild animals at Animal Kingdom for 12 weeks. So you can bet I'll be posting about that, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on any social media that I can. I'll be getting out as much as I can, and that's me being authentic as well as me being professional and trying to build to my goals and all of that. What about you?
Yeah, I think for me, and I kind of share the same sentiments, making sure you have a fine line between your personal indulgements and then what you want to present professionally. So like you said, I'm going to be with the UNCF K-12 Education Fellowship this summer, and I'll be placed in Denver, Colorado, working for the Charter School Growth Fund in their Advocacy and Policy Department. So you can be sure, thank you, you can be sure that anytime we do anything over there, or I get highlighted, or there's some opportunity where I can do a little photo op and show and give updates, I'll be sure to do that on LinkedIn. And maybe I might even do it on Instagram because, as you know, when you apply for things, as of recent, they started to ask, okay, what's your Instagram handles? What's your Twitter handles?
Yeah.
Exactly. So even on that side of Instagram, like I might post my LinkedIn, a screenshot of my LinkedIn post and be like, hey, guys, go and follow and go and like and repost my LinkedIn post. But I just try to make sure I can have some duality of showing myself, but also being able to show the professional side of me as
Absolutely.
well. Yeah.
I mean, especially when you're doing something like fundraising, like what you're talking about, you're absolutely going to want to put that out on as many social media platforms as
Absolutely.
you can. And sort of piggyback off of that, like Disney does a ton of like cool conservation work, and the best thing we can do for conservation efforts is to like increase awareness. So I'll certainly be looking for opportunities to continue to post about all the great work that they're doing over there, so we can continue to build these, things that we're passionate about.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
How do you feel whenever you're posting? Do you ever feel like for social media, you're sometimes putting on maybe like a false persona, or you're maybe not presenting your realest self?
There are times where I kind of feel like that. I think I feel more so like that maybe in person. On social media, yeah, I just know that's like kind of the reality of what time we're in right now. Like social media is everywhere. People are constantly using social media to network and stay in contact with people. So at times I have to be mindful of what I post. And that's just how I look at it. And this might be like a negative view on it, but that's just the unfortunate truth. Like, you have to do what you have to do so you can get where you want to go.
Absolutely.
And so if that means that sometimes I might have to put on a little persona, I might have to put on that little persona. But like I said, I feel that more so in person. So in person, yeah, absolutely. I want to make sure I give the best first impression and long-lasting impression as I can. So I might put a little persona, but when I feel like I can show myself, or there's an opportunity to show myself, I will. I think it's about knowing a time and a place.
Right.
Not every place is the time to show your true authentic self, but then you will have opportunities where you can't show your authentic self. So what about you?
No, I think that's a great take. I agree with everything you're saying. I think in general, social media is a little bit performative, right? Yeah. Everyone's sort of like, oh, look at this thing I'm doing, look at this. But you also want to be authentic in what you're posting as well. And then I agree, I feel like social media is so fleeting, right? You're just posting something and then it's gone. Yeah. So I don't feel like social media as well is as performative maybe. Sure, it might be just like celebration things that you post more so, like happy birthday to so-and-so, look at this accomplishment, I'm hired here. And that's a lot of the stuff that's going on your LinkedIn as well. So it is, in general, it's a performative thing. You want to celebrate your accomplishments with the people you care about. You want to share this. So I agree with what you're saying that, you have to speak these things into existence. You want to put them out so people know what you want. They can help you build towards your goals. But absolutely, there's a time and place to be performative. And I think I agree. I feel it more in person whenever, you're really pushing yourself to go out of your comfort zone and make that good impression. But I think it's also like super important to stay authentic, like you were saying. Yeah.
And I know, like, in my own experience, and you probably can relate to this too, as you come into like, say for example, like college as a freshman, you're still trying to navigate it because it's so many new and different experiences. Right. But as you get older and you go through the different classifications, your sophomore year, you may look back at your freshman year and cringe on what you did in person when you went to a company for the first time. But those experiences kind of shape the person you are, say your senior year, or like in your case when you're going on to get your master's and things of that nature.
Right, absolutely. I was going to say you're probably feeling a lot more of it now that you're a rising senior in your program. You're like, well, I'm entering the workforce real soon. Let me make sure. So I've felt definitely changing levels of pressure, right? Coming out of high school, it's like I can sort of post whatever.
You just
like,
don't care.
Right, it doesn't matter. And then, closing out undergrad, it's still fun, first few years. And then when you're closing out, you're like, oh, I gotta clean up. I gotta get this ready to go. So absolutely. And I think even more so now being in professional school and vet school, just making sure that I am presenting, a professional image across social media platforms is getting increasingly important. So I definitely agree with what you're saying. As like time goes on, what you deem is appropriate is gonna change.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Caleb, there sometimes where you just shouldn't post something, right?
Absolutely,
and, maybe it's when you're in a different state. Maybe you're out with your friends, having some fun, and you're like, hey, this will be a great thing to post on my story. And then you see it the next day, and you're like, that probably should not have gone up there. Absolutely. Have you ever had any experiences like that?
I can say confidently, my freshman year of college. as you know, HBCUs do homecoming very big. And homecoming is not just a day or two, it's the whole week. So there's a whole week of events. I remember my freshman year, if you were following me, my story captured every single moment that I experienced that whole entire week.
One of those 300 long
exactly.
stories.
You got to
you gotta go through the book.
tap, or you just like, you know what, forget it, I'm not going to watch his stories. Smino came Monday during our freshman year, and he performed. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been listening to Smino for so long. Drake came on Wednesday, and 21
That's
Savage,
crazy.
Lil Yachty. It was just so many artists, but it was so many things I was seeing that should have not went on social media, but I was naive. I was a freshman. I wasn't thinking in the long run. I was only thinking in the short run to share and kind of flex on my friends back home, like, look what's going on back at my school. So I know, like, that's how I felt. But I will say to the viewers, when in doubt, don't post on social media. If you're thinking about it and you're like, should I post it? Should I not post it? Do not post it.
Social media is forever. Do not post it.
Exactly. That's why they call it the internet.
Yeah, that digital footprint, that stays forever. That's not going to wash away.
It absolutely
That goes for a while. Some of them, if it's a story, you might get lucky. You know, it might go away after a little bit, but people are going to see it. And if they take note of it, it's there, it's out there forever, you know. So
what about you?
Always be mindful. You know, me personally, I feel like back in high school, my tweets were maybe calling out my friends a little bit more. I remember in my student government, they would pull me aside and be like, hey, you can't be this mean on social media. But they were my good friends, you know. We're just poking fun at each other. It was nothing. The other parties weren't taking any offense to it. But again, you have to know your audience, and that was going out to a lot more people than just, you know, my small group of friends. So maybe at that time, you know, whenever you're a 17-year-old kid, that doesn't make as much sense to you. But looking back now, I can totally understand how being, you know, a student leader, you want to make sure you are presenting, you know, a certain image of yourself going forward, and all of that. I will say some of my friends, you know, passionate sports fans, they'll go on a rant. Like, my buddy's a Knicks fan. I don't know. I'm sure you've been keeping up with the playoffs. Knicks fans are passionate. And you know, all of New York isn't happy right now. That place might burn down if, you know, they don't turn something around.
If they win or lose.
Yeah, just like Philly, man. Being a Philly fan, they grease up the polls, win or loss. People are going up there. The city's burning. Things are going down. So absolutely, it would be cool to get a pole falling down in the moment, but now you're documenting a crime. So it's you got to be mindful of what you're posting. Absolutely. So definitely going off of that theme, how do you feel like what you post in your LinkedIn is different from your social media?
Like we've been saying, like, my LinkedIn is specifically and exclusively professional development. So I know.
How are you like incorporating your personality into that as well, though? Because I know for me, like, I'll throw in like a fun banner or something, but then it's so hard, I feel like, to show your personality on LinkedIn. Have you found any way for you to do that?
I say the best way to show personality is through your pictures.
Okay.
You have to kind of almost find a balance of okay, like, this picture's fun, this picture's cool, this picture's professional. And find a blend. Like, I know at Morehouse, we're really big on throwing up the house and things of that nature. So we might do one picture where we're sitting there and smiling. We might do one picture where we're throwing up the house, or we might do a funny picture. And that's how I incorporate my personality into it.
Got to throw a silly picture in.
You got to. And it shows, you know, people that you're not just, I hate to use this word, but stuck up.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not AI. You gotta let people know you're not AI in this day and age, man.
Yeah, you do.
Showing your personality for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Caleb. So it seems like we talked about a lot today. Hopefully the students watching can find something helpful from this. We talked about a lot. We spilled some of our drinks on ourselves. And hopefully we can go from here and build some more podcasts. So today we talked about, you know, the close friends versus LinkedIn, presenting as a professional, as well as being your authentic, true self. You want to close us out?
Absolutely. Thank you for watching the Student Hustle podcast. Remember to like and follow and share the hustle with a friend.
Cheers. Share that hustle.